Last Saturday against the Denver Broncos, Jared Goff did something that no Detroit Lions quarterback has done since 2015. And since it has been so rare, we're going to dive in and we're going to break it down. So stay tuned, all. The details are going to be incredible.
We used to be a team no one respected. We used to be a team no one feared. That was then. This is now.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, end zone. Yes! Caught!
You know who we are.
10-5, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
And you know where to find us. We won't be far. We'll be on your front porch waiting for you. We are the New Era Lions. And
we are driven by Detroit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of MCM, Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and we're diving in right now. As always, to those that are coming back to the show, I just want to say thank you all for your view, thank you all for your support, thank you all for your patronage. It absolutely means the world to me that I have such loyal subscribers, such loyal viewers. It absolutely is just such an amazing thing to have. And to those that are tuning into my show for the very first time, I want to say thank you all for giving my show a shot. I hope you all enjoy the content, but even more so, I hope to gain you as a subscriber if you have earned and deserved it. And with that being said, to everybody, I just want to say God bless. I hope you all are having a great day. And with that, let's dive into the show. So here's the thing, folks. When we talk about that performance against the Denver Broncos that we just saw this offense of the Detroit Lions do, I'm not just going to I don't want to just focus on the Lions, but for this episode I am. When you think about it, that was an offensive performance that was dominating. It was explosive. It was just what we have been wanting to see come out of this Lions offense for the majority of the year. And that's not to say this Lions offense hasn't been explosive. That's not to say that it hasn't been effective. It hasn't been dominating at times. But it hasn't been as dominating as we would like to have seen it from times past, especially from last year. But that right there was quintessential Ben Johnson, Jared Goff football. That is exactly what we've been looking for. And when you think about it, that performance does not happen without Jared Goff. I don't care what SOL fans want to say. I don't want to hear what Jared Goff critics want to say. The point of the matter is, try how much you want. Teddy Bridgewater does not put a game together like that. Hendon Hooker does not put a game together like that. Only quarterback we got that's going to put together a game like that is Jared Goff. And for me, it's like, listen, when Jared Goff did that game, first and foremost, not only did he tied a personal career best of 5 passing touchdowns, he tied the Lions passing record for most passing touchdowns in the game set by Stafford back in 2015. And that to me is something that is very special because, again, you're talking about a record that has been tied that the last time it happened was 8 years ago. And for me, something of that prominence, something of that importance deserves more in-depth look at. It deserves to have more review of. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a full-on film analysis of all 5 of those touchdown throws. We are going to take a look at each individual play, break down the play, and take a look at what happened on the field. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Watch the game all you want. Watch the highlights all you want. Taking a look at the film actually from the bird's eye view, that is invaluable. And that's what we're going to do. So let's get into it here. We're going to take a look at the very first play here, the very first passing touchdown. This happened earlier in the game, I think about the midpoint of the first quarter. Here we go. In this particular play, we're in the gun. We're going to have 2 wide receivers to the left. We're going to have 1 tight end and 1 wide receiver to the right. So when you take a look at this play, what you're going to see is that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to come in motion. And while he's coming in motion, Goff is going to snap the ball. I'm going to show it now up on the screen. What's going to happen is Gibbs is coming in motion. It's a designed play fake, and it has 2 sets of play fakes into the whole thing. When you take a look at it, the first play fake for the defense is to show that there's a jet sweep coming through for Gibbs. The second is the play action that is going to be coming towards Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's in the backfield. Now, as the play progresses, what you've noticed is that Goff rolls to the right, moving with Gibbs. So again, it's trying to get that defense to go with Goff and with Gibbs. Why? Because obviously, as we've seen in the play, there's a backside play that's trying to be set up here. As St. Brown leads through the offensive line, he's trying to set up a wheel route. But here's the thing. There's another wide receiver that's also moving that way. That's Sam Laporta. So, Jared Goff has moved to the right. He looks like he's going there, but instead he turns back to go to the left, so he's now got two options to throw to. He's got both St. Brown and he has Laporta to throw to. They're the primary options. Now, as Goff is going to start to look back to the left, he's getting pressured because, who was it? If I recall correctly, it was Jonah Jackson. Jonah Jackson was the guy that was trying to provide him some protection out on that boot. Well, notice here in this still frame, as I'm about to show you, when Goff throws the pass, there is literally only two options that are open. The one option that is open is Jahmyr Gibbs, who is directly behind him, and Goff has his back turned. So there is no way that Goff's going to throw that pass. So the only option that Goff realistically has to throw to here is Sam Laporta, which is exactly what Goff does. Goff throws the ball to Laporta. Laporta then makes a good catch and then makes a football move and then breaks two separate tackles to then get into the end zone on a 19-yard scamper. Now, when you take a look at that play, there are a couple of things that I want everybody to pay attention to or at least recognize as I'm about to talk about them. First and foremost, very extremely creative play because you have to understand here, you have two sets of play fakes in the backfield. That is going to definitely confuse the defense and it's going to have them stopped in their tracks for about a half a second trying to figure out who has the ball. That's number one. It's going to get the defense off balance. Number two, you have good execution by Jared Goff, not only on the fakes that he puts out, but also by finding the open receiver. Again, while he's looking to the left-hand side, he's got to find whoever's going to be open. Now, granted, he's only got two options, which is St. Brown or Laporta, but he wisely goes with Laporta rather than trying to throw it up to freaking St. Brown, even though he's in 1v1 coverage. It's better to go with Laporta and see if he can pick something up, which is exactly what Laporta does. And to finally put this, Laporta makes a great effort. Laporta literally made three separate guys miss him by not allowing them to tackle him or just made a great move. So again, overall, great play design, great execution, great effort. That's the first play. So already looking very, very good as an offensive unit, as a team. Let's move into the second play here, which was the very next drive, the very next touchdown that the Lions scored. Again, we're going to be in the gun. You're going to have St. Brown to the left. You're then going to have Jamo. You're going to have Josh Reynolds and Laporta to the right. Now, what we're going to see here as I set this whole thing up before I start showing the play, Denver is going to be running what is known as a cover 2 zone defense. The reason I know it's cover 2 is it's got two high safeties and the rest of the defense is in zone. Hence the reason cover 2 zone. What happens as the play goes through? Goff is going to snap the ball. The Broncos are going to bring 5. So in essence, they're blitzing because when you bring 5 or more guys, that's a blitz. So, the Broncos are blitzing Jared Goff. They're trying to bring pressure. What makes this play particularly work is Amon-Ra St. Brown, because what happens is right off the line, Amon-Ra St. Brown is engaged with his defender. Well, as he advances up the field, you're then going to see Jahmyr Gibbs come out of the backfield on what is known as a Texas route, or also known as an angle route. Well, what happens is as he's coming out of the backfield, that safety that's on the left-hand side of the formation realizes that, but there's a problem. You're going to see it here in this still frame as I show it. St. Brown is in his way by a little bit. So what happens is because St. Brown is so far up the field, he slightly obstructs that safety's ability to get around him, which then leaves, as you're going to see in this other still frame, or the same still frame, you're going to see a huge zone that's in the middle of the field. This is beautiful execution. This is beautiful play design right here. Because literally what it does is this is as easy as a throw as you're going to get as a quarterback. There is nobody around for several yards. All Gibbs has to do is just catch the damn thing and walk into the end zone. And that's virtually what he does. Gibbs has almost no opposition getting into the end zone because it's so wide open of a zone. This is an easy throw and catch, and Goff easily exploits it for a touchdown. And again, trying to once again point this out. This is excellent play design because what Ben Johnson is doing here is he realizes that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get a lot of attention, just like what the Bears tried to do against him last week. They were double covering him and they were giving him a lot of attention. The Broncos decided to do the exact same thing. So Ben Johnson's like, okay, you're going to try and take him away. I'm going to use another equally explosive player and I'm going to exploit him. That's the whole point that I've been saying about the Lions offense all year. You take away one threat, there's going to be something else. So the fact that with offense was starting to implement Jamo and Gibbs more often in the passing game, that was something I was very, very excited to see. But there's more to that play. Excellent execution. Take a look at it. Take a look at the fact that Goff was blitzed The offensive line held up beautifully in protection, and St. Brown was able to take 2 defenders with him, which helped open up that play for Gibbs. And then finally, again, even though it was very easy, Goff read the defense, did his job excellent. That's how you do the job. That's how you play quarterback. That's how you have this offense work as well as it does. So that's play number 2. Play number 3, again, very next drive, because for 3 straight drives, the Lions scored points. Actually, it was 4, but that was with the halftime period in the middle. But either way, here's the 3rd touchdown. Again, we're going to be in the gun. You have, in this particular play setup, Khalif Raymond is to the left, and Laporta, St. Brown, and Jamison Williams there to the right. Again, what you're going to notice here is that the Denver Broncos are running the exact same kind of cover 2 zone look, because again, it's a zone defense with 2 high safeties. And what does Denver also do in this play? They do the exact same thing. They bring 5 guys. They blitz. Now, what happens in this play? St. Brown is coming in motion, and what happens is nobody comes with him to the other side of the field, which is what typically happens in man. So that's how Goff knows right away that this is not a man coverage look. This is a zone look. So what happens? Play's going to run through. Goff then snaps the ball. And on this play, it's a reversal of the same scheme that we just saw in the last play. The only difference is Laporta is playing St. Brown's role from the second play, the last play I just showed. And what's happening now is St. Brown is playing Gibbs' role. And you're going to see this right now, because watch this. Watch what happens. Laporta, in this still frame, he advances all the way up the field, just like St. Brown did in that second play I showed. And then St. Brown, he is wide open underneath on a slant route, which is in essence the second part of a Texas or angle route. So again, it's the same damn concept, it's just with different personnel, and you don't have a guy coming out of the backfield. But it works to the same perfection, because what happens? The defense tries to take away Sam Laporta because they're in the red zone. Tight ends are usually red zone targets. They get a lot of targets in the red zone, especially Sam Laporta. So they're trying to take that away. Well, by taking that away, as you're going to see in this still frame, Amon-Ra St. Brown has a huge zone. Again, it's just like that second play, just different personnel. So again, what Ben Johnson and Jared Goff were able to do was take the exact same look they had the previous drive and use it in the red zone to the same result that they had the previous time. So again, great route concept, great design by Ben Johnson, great execution by Laporta and St. Brown, and the offensive line giving Jared Goff time to throw, and Goff, again, finding the quick, easy, accurate throw and read. That's what you want. That's how this offense works. It's a very, very effective use of the West Coast offense. What is the West Coast? The West Coast is an extension of the run game by doing quick time throws. Like, you're using quick throws to extend the ball down the field. You're not trying to do it with bombs. That's what most people don't realize about the West Coast. At least the West Coast offense, anyway. That was play number 3. Let's move to play number 4. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen in this play. I digress. Same thing. We're in the gun yet again. Josh Reynolds is to the left. We have another 3 wide receiver set to the right. Interesting how that's been the same formation every single time. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. But again, the same defense. Denver is once again running a zone coverage. And what again are they doing? They bring 5 guys. They are again trying to blitz and pressure Jared Goff. Now, as the play runs through, take a look what happens. Again, another wide receiver is in motion, only this time it's Khalif Raymond that's in motion from the right to the left. Now, I'm going to say this. This is a very, very short field because you're like literally, I think it was at the 5-yard line when this play got snapped. So it's a confined space, it's a short field. These throws have to be into tight windows and they have to be precise. Well, notice what happens here. What you're going to see is that the moment Jared Goff throws this pass, what you're going to see is the only option that Jared Goff has to throw to is freaking Sam Laporta. He's the only plausible option. But notice where Sam Laporta is in this still frame that I'm about to show you. Notice this. He's right between 2 defenders. He's got one defender that's directly in front of him and another one that's right on his back hip. So literally what Goff is doing is he's throwing this by anticipating because he knows where Sam Laporta is going to break. So he's anticipating that Sam Laporta is going to be in the right spot at the right time. Because what also he's anticipating is that since Gibbs is coming out of the backfield in that still frame, is that defender that's directly in front of Laporta is going to drop down into the flat, and that's going to open up that look, which is exactly what happens. So all Laporta has to do is track the ball really quickly as soon as it gets there and catch it, which is exactly what Laporta does, which results in a perfectly thrown ball and a great second touchdown grab by Sam Laporta. Again, you're talking about perfect, precise throws and execution by this Lions offense. And they're just literally tearing apart that freaking Broncos zone defense that they virtually ran all damn night against the Lions. It's the truth. That's how the Lions were really realistically able to beat the Broncos, because they were precise and effective in how they ran their offense, and the Broncos defense did nothing to change it virtually almost any time they got into the red zone. They kept running zone coverages. That was the fourth touchdown. Now we're going to get to the last one. And again, what are we going to see here? We're going to see a lot of the same things that we've already seen. The only thing that's different about this play versus the previous four that I talked about, we're not in the gun. We're not in the gun on this one. Instead, we're in a single back look. But again, one wide receiver to the left, three to the right. Now, the only difference on this one is that one of the wide receivers is an offensive lineman, because in this play, offensive tackle Dan Skipper reported as an eligible receiver. But he's still a receiver. So you have one wide receiver to the left, three to the right. And again, what do we see here? Denver runs a zone coverage. And again, like the last three plays I showed, they bring 5 men. So again, zone coverage, you're blitzing. So nothing has changed from Denver. But in this play, what do we see? In this play, Jared Goff does a play fake to the running back, who actually is tight end James Mitchell. He's the one that's in the running back spot here. Well, after Goff fakes the ball, he looks at his first read. This is by far the best one of Jared Goff actually doing his job the best as a quarterback. Because notice what I'm about to say here. I'm going to show this in a slow motion. Jared Goff looks at his first read, which is Amon-Ra St. Brown, who, if I recall correctly, is coming on an underneath drag route to the right. He's covered. He can't get him. So then who's his next read? His next read is actually surprisingly Dan Skipper, who's going across the opposite way. Skipper is also covered. So then Jared Goff goes to his next read, which is then Jahmyr Gibbs, who's kind of like at a mid-level kind of crossing route in pattern. And again, what happens in that play is Gibbs has got somebody on his back door, so Goff thinks for a second to throw it. But then what happens is Patrick Surtain, who's covering on Sam Laporta with another man, he drops down to help cover Gibbs. What happens? Then that leaves Sam Laporta in a 1v1 situation with the safety, and Laporta easily beats him. He burns him. Goff makes that final read, his fourth read, easily finds Sam Laporta for his final and fifth touchdown. So again, what you're seeing there is, again, one, great blocking by the offensive line, because again, Jared Goff had plenty of time to go through 4 separate reads to find the open receiver. That's great blocking by the offensive line, something we have not seen a whole lot this year from the offensive line, either due to injury, shuffling around starters, whatever. But you're also seeing how Goff, again, utilizes every single read that he has to make a play. So again, it's not like the other 4 that I showed where Goff just literally hits the first guy that comes open. He has to go through his entire progression tree to actually find the open guy. So again, it's not just because Ben Johnson is scheming this stuff for Jared Goff. Jared Goff can also do the job extremely well. Because again, what is one of the biggest comments that I've heard about Jared Goff? Is he is literally going to focus on the first guy he sees and he singles on one player. Not the case here. Goff went through every single read and found the last guy open. That is very, very good for a quarterback to do, because it shows that your ability to read the field is fast, effective, and efficient, which is exactly what Goff did, and that's exactly why Jared Goff had a 5-touchdown game, because he not only took what Ben Johnson was scheming for him and executed it to a high level, he was able to make plays work when sometimes the defense was just playing really good coverage. But that's my whole point. When you see performances like this, you have to dive in and take a look at what's going on here. And not only did Jared Goff have a really, really damn good game, but the rest of the offense had a great game. The offensive line doing a great job blocking for him. The wide receivers running their route concepts extremely well. People finding open zones, catching passes. This is what a Detroit Lions offense led by Ben Johnson and Jared Goff can do. And it is absolutely a thing of beauty to behold. But anyway, I figured I'd put this video together because this is something that excites me. I love doing film analysis. So, without further ado, I'm going to cut the episode, and I want to say thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage all to watch the next episode coming at the end of this one. I also encourage all to please do one of these three things: like, comment, and subscribe. If by chance you subscribed in the past and you forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and you've not had a chance to do so, again, I want to encourage y'all to please subscribe. But also, please, after you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification icon as well, so that way you never miss any more content that I push out. Again, subscription numbers are always going up, but we want to make sure we turn on that notification icon so that way you guys can come back as soon as I release something. To also help in that endeavor, please share this content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with everybody and anybody that you can. The more you share it, the more we get people in, the better the channel does, the bigger it grows. And with that, I just want to again say thank you to everybody that watched the content. If I gained you as a subscriber, welcome to the family. I'm so glad to have you. And if I still haven't gained you as a subscriber, I hope you come back and I get another chance to do so. But until that next time, I again want to say to everybody, God bless. Hope you all enjoyed the content. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.